there, I'm Lara from 5 out of 4 Patterns, and welcome to the sew along and tutorial for the new Meg dress. This dress is beautiful. I loved making it. You will love making it. I loved wearing it. You will love wearing it. I've separated this sew along and tutorial into 5 parts. The first part is to print, assemble, cut out the pattern, and cut out your fabric. Part 2 is to prep our darts and our interfacing. We're also going to create the bodice and the sleeve. Part 3, we're going to put together the skirt and then attach it to the bodice. Part 4, we're going to work on those zipper options. And part 5, we're going to finish it up with the hem and the lining. And that's it. 5 parts to this awesome sew along and this gorgeous dress. Let's get started. As you can see, I'm putting together the entire pattern here. Now, in the tutorial, you will find that there is a print guide that will tell you exactly what you need to print. So if you just want to do the knee-length midi skirt, then you can look on that print guide, and it will tell you exactly what pages to print. This saves time and it saves paper. It saves a lot of paper. Okay, so I've still got quite a bit of paper left to attach here, but it's getting a little out of hand for my sewing table, so I'm going to cut out all of the bodice and the sleeve piece. Now, I know that I'm not going to be doing the long sleeve. I'm going to be doing the 3/4 length sleeve, so I can go ahead and cut out my sleeve as well. So I'm going to be cutting out all here and then all the way across here. This is where the skirt begins, so I'm not going to cut that. So I'm going to place my tape dispenser right on top of that so that I know don't cut that. So let's get our scissors and I'm going to cut out what we have so far. All right, our flounce is done. Now let's cut our bodice here. Now here with the front bodice, you're going to decide whether you want to do a crew neck or a scoop neck. I personally prefer the crew neck. I'm not sure why, but I just like that. All right. I'm going to just cut across here so we can talk about this for a minute. Before you get too hot and heavy into cutting things out, we need to talk about sizing. In the tutorial, you will find an extensive fitting guide, and you will find instructions on how to cut your darts out. And like right here, we've got these lines for double A cup, B cup, C, D, and D, double D/E cups. Now, you're going to need to know what your sewing cup is, not necessarily your bra cup, because I know for me, my bra cup size is different than my sewing cup size. So you will cut according to that. So make sure you're reading the tutorial thoroughly when it comes to personal fit. This is the front bodice. You'll see that we've got some kind of V markings. These are our darts. So you're going to, again, use the tutorial to decide what cup you need for this, and then you have your waist dart, and that's universal. They all have the same waist dart. Now, you may have to adjust your darts. Let me be very clear. It's really important to do a quick muslin, at least of the bodice, at minimum the bodice, to see if your bust darts are high enough or low enough for you, or if just to make sure the fit is right. And the same with your waist darts, because they can come up way too high or be too close together. Everyone's bust points are different, especially depending on the bra you're wearing. And I will encourage you again to wear a proper fitted, supportive bra. That will just make a huge difference in the fit of your garment. So follow the instructions really closely when it comes to fit. Make that muslin, make that sample so that you can make the adjustments. Don't just jump right in with your good fabric, because if it doesn't quite fit, then you've wasted your good fabric on something that doesn't fit you properly. So that's my soapbox for the day. So I know what cup size I need, but it's can be hard to decipher the lines here. So let me get a writing utensil. One of the key things to prepping our darts is cutting out the darts. You will only cut the darts out on the pattern piece, not on the fabric. So this is the time to cut those darts out. So I'm going to find, I know that I need to cut on my, I've already done it, on my the cup line at the bottom here. So I've done that, but I need to do the cup line here. And I'm C. So I'm just going to trace that line a little bit. And then let's see. I actually traced the wrong one over here, so I've got to correct that. It can be difficult to see. Okay, now I'm going to cut this out. And make sure I'm cutting on the correct line here. All right, so there's one. There's my bust dart. Now I want to make sure that I cut out my waist dart as well. So the front bodice is completely cut out now. All right, this is the back bodice. And again, you can see we've got darts here. Those are the waist darts. There are no cup lines on that. So that'll be easy to decipher. All right, our back bodice is done. We can go back to taping. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the front skirt before I continue taping. Now, if you're putting pockets in, there are some indicators here. I definitely suggest cutting the notches there, just so you don't forget about where your pocket goes. All right, the only thing left to cut out on the front skirt is the waist dart, excuse me. And our front skirt pattern piece is ready. Make sure you cut out the notches here as well. All right, for the size that I'm doing, the maxi length starts to come off the edge here, so that's where these two pieces that I set aside come in. So we've got our back skirt panel. We just need to cut out the waist dart there. Okay. Now I'm off to do two things. I'm off to decide which length I want to make, or which style I want to make, whether it be the pencil or the A-line, or the various lengths from short to knee to T to maxi. Which one do I want to make, or do I have the fabric to make? That's one decision I need to make. The other thing I need to do, and you need to do as well, is to look at the finished measurements and compare them to your personal measurements. So I'm only 5'4". I know across the board, every pattern I've ever made, I've had to adjust for length. So I need to double check the finished measurements, and then I need to make that adjustment to my pattern pieces. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll be right back. So I have checked with the finished measurements of the pattern, and I have made my adjustments to each pattern piece. It's time for me to cut out some fabric. All right, you can either do this while you're cutting your pattern out, or you can cut the pattern out and then mark it. I'm gonna mark it right now. Now, what am I marking? I'm marking the darts. Now remember, we cut the darts out of the pattern piece itself, but we are not going to cut them out of the fabric. We're just gonna mark them. So I've got a chalk, this is white chalk, and I'm just going to mark it. All right, and after I get it cut out, I will mark the other side. Remembering to not cut the dart out of the fabric. All right, now to mark the other side of the front bodice. Turn my pattern piece over. I will repeat this on the back bodice and the lining as well. Again, you can see we've got another dart to mark. We'll mark it on both sides. Remember, we're marking the darts on the lining as well. Thanks for joining us for part 1. We're all ready for part 2, and a huge thanks to our awesome sponsor, Sly Fox Fabric. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.